that you're going to be taking from the courses that you've learned so far?
Yes. So I've done a lot of the single day training courses through CUPE already. And one of the most valuable things is speaking and discussing events and experiences with the other participants.
And I would love to see more members get involved with anything, whether it's start out on a small committee. We want to see,
Can you tell us a little bit about what you've learned here this week?
It's a great learning experience, and as long as I've been around and involved, I'm still learning.
This is Iris Lloyd, president of CUPE New Brunswick.
I'm Chris Watson, president of the New Brunswick Federation of Labor.
Hi, my name is Brian Watson, former president of CUPE New Brunswick.
Wes Wills, local 380 vice president.
I'm Shelby Dodge, president of local 3226.
Karen Tier, president of the New Brunswick Council of Nursing Home Unions.
I'm Jamie Agnew, and I'm the president of CUPE Local 963. Representing New Brunswick liquor store, retail, and warehouse workers.
I'm Sherry Hillier, president of CUPE Newfoundland and Labrador, and general vice president for the Atlantic Maritimes.
I'm Cheryl Ann Keown, and I also sit on local 805.
Quay, hello. This is Kathy Johnson, president of CUPE 5446.
Hi, my name is Dorinda Smith. I'm from Local 813.
I'm Teresa McAllister, provincial president of CUPE 2745 Educational Support Staff.
Bonjour, ici Alain Soucy, membre du SCFP, Syndicat canadien de la fonction publique.
Hey everyone, this is Candace Rennick, CUPE's National Secretary Treasurer.
Hey, this is Mark Hancock, CUPE National President.
And I'm Nicholas Lund, and you are listening to The Members' Voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Members' Voice. I am Nick, joined alongside my two co-hosts, Mr. Wesley Wills and the New Brunswick Federation of Labor President, Chris Watson. Chris, welcome to the show. Wes, welcome to the show.
Good evening, my fellow brothers.
We've got a ton of stuff to cover, everything from a ratifying deal with WestJet to these tariffs to a special recording from one of our co-hosts, Jason St. Ange, who was at the Wellness Forum that CUPE New Brunswick put on. We've got a load of stuff, of course, all the upcoming things that CUPE is putting on here in the Atlantic provinces. It is a jam-packed show, and because Chris is here tonight, I feel like it's only right that we would get right down to it and talk about the one thing that there are memes everywhere. People have had their comments. There have been lots said, but very little from us. Obviously, I do plan to talk to Candace Rennick tomorrow about it. But for now, Chris, the president of the New Brunswick Federation of Labor, I'd like to give you the floor on this.
Yeah, so I think what you're talking about, Nick, is the announcement of the tariffs and what that means. We've been seeing a lot on social media, different posts that are saying that no deal is better than a bad deal. And, that phrase couldn't be any more true, right? We know that the Canada-U.S. relation has always been something that's been very good. The trade deals, the free trade deals have always been fairly good. And now we're seeing a 50% tariff, being put in place by the U.S. president. And one thing that we need to remember is Canada needs a strong relationship with the U.S. Yes, but not at the cost of giving away good Canadian jobs, giving up our industries, and giving up our sovereignty, just to say that we reached a deal. That's not what we're about. So Canada has to be prepared to stand up for itself. And, if that means looking for means to, set up trade with other countries, then so be it. And we need to look at the interprovincial trade as well. And we need to look at the red tape around that. And this is the kind of stuff that we had spoken about a long time ago, where we need to make sure that workers, have a voice in all this as well, to make sure that they're protected. Because, these tariffs, they're not just percentages, right? These are people and families that are attached to these tariffs. When we see an export drop, or that we see production starting to slow down, then we can see workers starting to lose hours. They could lose their shifts, and eventually they could end up losing their jobs. I listened to an article this morning on CBC about somebody who has a small business and deals primarily with exports into the U.S. and says that, in the coming weeks, his business could actually end up closing. But he is in full support of the Canadian government in the same thing, that making sure that, that we can't just give away our jobs and our sovereignty. So even though he's at the potential of losing his business, he still saw the importance, again, of no deal is better than a bad deal.
So here's one thing I want to throw at you, and being somebody who really believes in workers' rights, would this not be a great opportunity for us to reopen these factories, all these different things that we had years ago? Could we not reopen and start building from the ground up with a lot of these factories that we already have throughout Canada?
I think there's many different things to consider. Yes, it'd be great to do those sorts of things, but you need to have the investment in order to do so. You can't just open them back up, right? So you need to see that investment come back, to those sorts of things. And you need to make sure that the upkeep was done too, and make sure that things are up to par and safe for workers, because we don't want any injuries or, God forbid, somebody lose their life on the job. So you need to make sure that all the standards are there as well. But I can't see why we couldn't. I mean, there's always, where there's a will, there's a way, right? That's why we have that saying. So, potentially you could see these sorts of things open back up, these different mines and things that have been closed. It might be an opportunity to start looking at these sorts of things, and bringing the work kind of, back in-house. Essentially, instead of outsourcing it, maybe bring it back to Canada to make sure that, workers are working, that communities are still being able to thrive, because that's who's going to take a big hit too, right? If someone loses their job, well, maybe now that means that their child can't enter an organized sport because, they have to choose between doing that or putting food on the table. So there's so many variables, that's going to play here that's going to affect families.
What do you think, brother? You got something you want to add?
I just think this whole, I don't like to get in too much with U.S. politics, but this guy he's ridiculous. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's all over ego. That's all it is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And to affect the hard-working men and women in both Canada and the U.S. I mean, one guy's ego is taken over.
Yeah.
Someday he'll be retired, hopefully. Enjoy all the millions and billions of dollars that he has from somebody who's been bankrupt twice. So
that's right.
It's ridiculous, and I think Mr. Trump should just get over it.
Yeah, I do too.
It's all ego. I'm sorry. I don't like to go too much on U.S. politics because I find them just ridiculous.
Yeah, I do too, and that's why I a lot of this stuff bugs me, because for years and years we never spoke about tariffs, ever.
Mm-hmm.
That was never even on the table until the last year. And one of the other things too that I want to talk about is our counteracting it today when it was announced by Carney about the we're going to put 50% on them as well. It's good that we're not backing down, because we have built everything on our backs here in this great country, from our great grandparents all the way up to now, and we've done a damn good job of that. And I'll be damned if we're going to let someone bully us or tell us how we're going to do things, because this is a working country and this country has done very well. And we will continue to thrive. We will continue to push. So, Chris, I guess what I want is if you could get a message out to all of the affiliates, all of the country. What would you say to them moving forward from this day?
I'd say one of the biggest things, and again, you're right talking about Trump. He's using tariffs and threats as negotiating tools. Well, we call that bad faith bargaining where I come from.
Right.
So he needs to get his head out of his arse and start negotiating fairly, with these trade deals. And this is an opportunity for us. We've seen how the Buy Canadian movement and the elbows up movement has kind of expanded and sparked across the country. But we need to remember, especially here in New Brunswick, right? New Brunswick's a trading province. We have many industries, right? Between forestry, our seafood, right? Our different agriculture. The Premier was talking about energy and stuff today, going down to Massachusetts. So, we have many things here that Americans, gain from, right? And we have an important Atlantic gateway sitting right here, right? And that's one of the biggest things is our port, right? So we need to think about how that's going to affect our port workers, right? Because now they're going to see either, production starting to slow down, right? With stuff going in and out of the U.S., but it could also be, an opportunity, right? I mean, if you can negotiate trade deals with other countries as well, but, it's just an opportunity to diversify the relationships, I guess, around the world. But again, for our members, buy Canadian when you can. It's going to help build a stronger Canada. And, we need to invest in Canadian manufacturing. We need to invest in our own infrastructure. And we need to make sure that we have any new investments are going to create good jobs, preferably unionized jobs. But again, it's not about, looking at, I don't want to say, don't paint everybody with the same brush, right? We see people coming up here into Canada and they're apologizing all the time. Well, we know it's not your fault that your leaders making these harsh decisions. But again, the biggest thing we can do is, stick together. Again, buy Canadian. We need to support ourselves, support our communities as much as possible, and just be, cognizant. When you're looking around at what you're purchasing. I heard today, even from the Moosehead breweries, right now they were talking about the tariffs, and they said that they were going to eat the tariffs. Well, what could that mean for your alcohol? Right now, the company is going to eat the tariffs, but is that going to last forever? Are they going to increase the tariffs going into the U.S.? Is it going to increase cost for the consumers here to offset? So there's just, again, there's a lot of uncertainty. But right now is a time for unity, and just educate yourselves. And this is a time to, trust in your leadership, for those who have elected leaders within your unions and sectors, and know that they're going to be doing what they can behind the scenes and having those hard conversations and making sure that as we push forward that, yes, no deal is better than a bad deal. But we also got to keep in mind about the workers that are affected and that could be affected by this. And that is something that we're going to do 100% as we move forward with meetings with government officials, as we figure out what's going to be coming next in the days ahead.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to throw out there to everyone listening and watching is that when the CLC, the Canadian Labour Congress, or CUPE, or any other big union business company, whatever, is out there putting stuff out, pay attention because we share it on the Members Voice for all of you, because we want you to know what is Canadian versus what is a US product. So when we say about, like, you know, instead of going to, I'll just use Tim Hortons and then Second Cup, or instead of going to McDonald's, go to, you know, maybe go to a local food shop. Try to stay local. Try to help Canadian businesses thrive. They need us more now than ever, and I think it's important. And that's what the CLC does, is that they're always posting all these different things that are helpful to Canadians. And I'm always happy, and I know both of my colleagues are happy to share this stuff and make it be known what is the best way to go about it. So pay attention to that. What I want to do now is take a quick break, because when we come back, Chris, Wes and I are curious on how everything went with the Blair Doucette camp, and we have not had the opportunity to sit and chat. So I will ask that everyone hang tight and bear with us, and we will be back right after this.
Solidarity. Strength in numbers. The power of the labor movement. Higgins Insurance is proud to support workers and stand with you. As the official sponsor of the Members Voice Show, we are committed to our community. Call 1-866-273-2911 or visit higginsinsurance.ca for your free quote.
Higgins Insurance est fier de commanditer l'émission La Voix des membres. Solidaire avec vous, nous soutenons les travailleurs et le mouvement syndical. Visitez le www.higginsinsurance.ca ou appelez-nous au 1-866-263-2911. Obtenez votre soumission gratuite dès aujourd'hui. Higgins Insurance, au service du Canada Atlantique.
And we are back. And of course, as everyone knows, we talked about it all year long. The Blair Doucette camp has come and gone for another year. And, well, Brother Chris Watson was leading the helm. And of course, he couldn't have done it without so many names, so many people that helped make this a major, major success. So, Chris, break it down, brother. What happened? How did it go? Were you happy, disappointed? Tell me.
I think, in my opinion, that the camp was a huge success, just as it always is. We were nervous, obviously, going to a different part of the province for the very first time in the history of the Blair Doucette camp. But the campus proved to be exactly what we needed. Everything was in close proximity of each other. It was just as hot as it was at the UDM in Moncton. We went to bed, it was 27 degrees. We woke up, it was 28. So, you know, that's always good. But the camp itself was a success. You know, the classroom sessions, thank you to the CLC again. This year we had Brother Tony Tracy, who was filling in for Serge Landry while he was off. Who did the education this week. And this was Tony's first week at camp as well. We had 17 youth from across the province. And again, I'll stay under the education and then we'll go from there. So the education part went really well. They learned all about do's and don'ts of social media. They learned about health and safety, Unions 101. They learned about Indigenous cultures. They learned about human rights. They learned about about diversity. Like, it was a really, really good educational compact component for them this week. And one of the highlights, now we'll go into the afternoon activities. One of the highlights for me was the tour that we were able to do of the New Brunswick legislature, along with the New Brunswick Labour Minister, Alison Townsend. So thank you again to the New Brunswick government for that tour. As you know, like most of us, we usually only get to put our footprints in the front lawn, or we go to sit our butts up in the gallery. So it's either one of two spots. So to be able to go a little bit further into the New Brunswick legislature and learn about some of the history and see some of the different things, to me was an absolute treat. So that was one of the highlights for me as, I guess, an extracurricular. They'll probably tell you that the breakout room was a little bit more of a hit for them, but who doesn't like a good escape room, right? We did Hearts Island as well. What else did we do? We did a trivia night, and one thing we did this year as well was we bargained a contract. As you know, Local 001 always forms their own executive. And again, they formed their own executive. They held their elections, and we negotiated. And we negotiated some different rules. And one thing that was kind of interesting with the kids was that they felt that there was a need to include a diversity vice president's position if certain criteria, I guess, wasn't on the 5 positions that were available. So seeing, the youth understand the need for inclusiveness at the camp was something that was very interesting, especially when they were the ones that presented it. So it was a really good week. It was a long week, tiring week as always, but it was nice to see all the different kids come together. We had a majority of them were returnees. I think we had maybe 4 that were new, and everybody else was all return. So that's 13 youth that were there last year.
That's really amazing.
Yeah,
really
and like you said it too, right? Thank you goes out to everybody that makes donations. All the different unions that make donations, all the different affiliated partners like Higgins Insurance. And then we'll be doing our announcement coming up on Labor Day for our Owen McLennan Trade Unionist of the Year, where we see Argus Audiology also makes a donation to the Blair Doucette camp in Owen's name as well. So, we can't do it without everybody's help.
Well, you know what? I couldn't be happier to hear that it was a major success. I'm not surprised. I always say that the more you're nervous, the bigger success you'll have, because you care so much that you were worried and you wanted to make sure that every kid had a good time. And I can guarantee you that everyone there had a great time.
I think so too. I tried to keep everybody updated on Facebook. Did you see my George's wake-up call?
You kidding me, man? Come on.
I did.
That came natural. Like, I loved it. Obviously, you and I spoke almost daily, pretty darn early, but daily. And that was good because you kind of gave me an update. It was sad. Obviously, Wes was not able to attend. And I can tell you firsthand what it meant to Wes to attend last year. And then I can tell you also what it meant to him to attend this year. And obviously, when things happen, you have to kind of pivot, one of our favorite words here. And you did just that, and everything worked out just as I figured it would. When it comes to you and all the kids, people are excited. They like to help.
Yeah, and it's one of those camps that it's like, Wes, you'll be able to speak to it. It's just, we can sit here and talk about it all day, but unless you're there and you witness it and you see kind of what takes place at the camp, you don't understand the impact that it makes, not only on their own lives, but on our lives as well.
Yeah, that's true. You can see, from my experience, you can see these young individuals that are coming to this camp and who are nervous and don't quite know how to verbalize it, but over the next couple of days, they open up a bit. And it's not only a great educational experience for them, but it's when I was there last year, it was a wonderful educational experience for me. Being a union leader in our local, so I really hope I have the opportunity to go next year. I don't foresee any circumstances, but no, it's always a great experience. And you know what would be nice, and this is a little off topic, if we could have George on some evening.
I would.
Do you think we could make that happen?
Oh, I think we could make that happen.
Oh, I would love to have George on some evening.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put Brother Chris on the spot right here.
Yeah.
As we know, we will be returning back to our weekly scheduled programming in 2 weeks. Now that show will not be on a Tuesday because, let's just be honest, we're all going to be super busy with Labor Day, coming off Labor Day, and then the first day of school. And actually, not that anyone needs to know, but my daughter actually has surgery on that Tuesday, and I'm just thinking about it now. Yeah. But what a way to have the first show of the regular scheduled programming. And to have George be a guest on this show. That might be the best thing you've come up with.
Well, I as Chris was saying, that video that he posted, I watched that playing, and I'm like, oh geez, that was good. And the funny thing is I played that while my wife was still asleep, and it shot her right up out of bed, which was great. And then
it's effective. It did what it was supposed to do.
It did what it was supposed to do. But George I first met him last year. George is a very wonderful union leader himself and activist. So I would very much love to have him on the show.
You know, not that this is like rah for George, but I do want to throw out there too. My first trip to Manitoba was back in May for the Canadian Labor Congress convention. And I just want to say that upon arriving, Brother Chris was in a number of meetings that day, my first day there. And George come around the corner and saw me and took me like a child and took me around and introduced me to leaders all over this country. And, you know, if that does not just say how great of a person he is, I don't know what does. Because he didn't have to do that. He wanted to do that. Just want to throw that out there.
Right. He always goes out of his way to make sure that everybody feels included.
He really does.
He does, yeah.
So why don't we take a break? Because when we come back, I want to talk about some upcoming things. I also want to talk about the WestJet component ratifying their deal. And I think it's important for us because it's something that you and I covered a year and a half ago. And it's officially done. It's in the books. And I myself could not be happier for them. I think it was a 90% vote. Yes, I believe. I read Mark Hancock, the national president's Facebook status correctly earlier. It was a hell of a yes. I'll say that. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll discuss that and a few other things, brother. Yeah, all right, brother? Okay.
When St. John needs trusted, affordable, and fast automotive service, there's one name drivers count on Discount Tire and Automotive. Located at 255 Rothsay Avenue, they offer honest service from tires and brakes to general repairs. Customers choose them because they're quick, reliable, and upfront. For appointments, call 506-651-5723. Discount Tire and Automotive, keeping St. John rolling, one vehicle at a time. Proud official sponsor of the Member's Voice.
Quand St. John a besoin d'un service automobile fiable, abordable et rapide, il y a un nom sur lequel les conducteurs comptent. Vos experts locaux qui gardent notre communauté en sécurité sur la route. Situé en plein cœur de la ville au 255 avenue Rothsay, Discount Tire & Automotive s'est bâti une réputation pour son service honnête et ses prix équitables. Que vous ayez besoin de pneus, d'alignement ou de travaux de frein, leur équipe offre des résultats professionnels. Ils sont rapides, fiables et transparents, juste un service solide en qui vous pouvez avoir votre confiance.
And we are back here on The Member's Voice. I am Nick, joined with Wes, my co-host, and my other co-host, live from the RV, Mr. Chris Watson. So, Chris, I want to talk a little about CUPE 8. I just want to make sure I saw that right. 8125, the WestJet flight attendants finally ratifying their deal and what that meant. I told you it was an overwhelming yes. How happy were you to hear that news?
Yeah, I mean, that's a high percentage vote in favor of a contract. So, you know, when we hear anybody that, you know, votes and ratifies their collective agreement, then, you know, awesome. That's what we want to hear, right? We want to see any disputes settled and members get what they consider to be a fair deal. So congratulations to them. We're very ecstatic.
Les, what did you think when you heard the news?
Yeah, of time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad that it took that long to ratify it, but I'm glad for them. I mean, they got what I understand to be a fair deal. So.
Yeah, we had them on this show numerous times to discuss it in the past. Not sure if it was before you came on or maybe even after.
Probably before.
But, you know, they had come on the show and really broke it down for us. And hence the unpaid work won't fly. And there were so many different unique things that they had done. And yet management just kept brushing them off like it was nothing. So to hear that it has been official and it's a done deal, man, solidarity to them. Like, that is a big deal. I couldn't be happier for them. So let's talk a little bit about dollars and cents. That is coming up in just a couple weeks. I just said to Wes, geez, that's literally right around the corner, the 11th.
13th.
Yeah. So dollars and cents. Chris, you and I attended the Dollars and Cents Conference in Halifax, Nova Scotia a few years back. We've seen the success. We are aware of just how amazing CUPE can put on these sort of big conventions. How excited are you to hear about them going to Manitoba, and how depressed are you they can't go?
Well, since you put it like that, no, again, you know, we've talked about it here, and we've expressed about how excited we get about, you know, education, and that's what it is. It's education, right? Like, if you don't know until you know, and then the only way to know is to go. So go to the Dollars and Cents because you're going to learn a lot of stuff. Like, it is a really eye-opening type of thing. You know, you can take the financial officers courses. You can take trustees courses with CUPE Education Branch, which are all well and good. Trust me, you know, take those as well. But when you get a conference that's geared towards it, it just goes way more in depth than you would ever get in a regular CUPE education course. You don't even have to be a treasurer to go. If you hold an executive position, it'll give you the understanding of how the financials all kind of operates as well. So, yes, you're not doing the books and you're not submitting invoices and taking per capita and doing all these other things, but you'll have a basic understanding on how the day-to-day operations go. And again, it's just only going to help you benefit more as a leader.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't even know if I told you this, but I was talking to Candace almost on a weekly basis, trying to arrange times to come on the show. And I think it was you know this story. And I think it was like the day before the show or something, and she had reached out to me and she said, we're almost at capacity. She said, I feel bad if I come on the show and I promote it and then people get excited and then they're like, oh, we should go, let's go. And it's like, then we got to start turning people away. So she said, what would you do, Nick? And I said, you know what? I'll call you a couple of weeks after it's over and the dust has settled. And then come on, we'll talk about the success of it, because it's going to be a success. We know. And just because I just brought up Candace and I had said earlier in the day about talking to Candace tomorrow, I reached out to Candace a few days ago. Tariffs came down. And I said, I'd really like to talk to you. I reached out to Lily Chang again, waiting for a response from Lily. I told her if she wanted to reach out to Dee Brust, the president of the CLC, that we could do a round table. It's something that needs to be discussed, but I'll save that for later because that's not what right now is about. We're discussing, the dollars and cents conference, which is again coming up in 2 weeks. I hope those that are going, I hope they're excited and I hope they take it all in because we know how important this stuff is.
Yeah. And that's great that we're hearing that it's like almost at capacity. I mean, and that was then.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
that's now. It's at capacity now. So like hats off, to CUPE National. And I think it kind of promotes itself, right? Because we attended that one and it was so, widely spoken about that when they put it on this time, people are thrilled and ecstatic and wanting to do it. So, if you are registered to go, have a great time, learn lots, take it all in, meet new people. That's a big part of it too. And if you didn't get in, well, better luck next time. No, hopefully they'll do it again. And you can sign up and it'll just get bigger and better as we go on.
Couldn't agree more with you, brother. I really couldn't. Yesterday and today was the first ever CUPE New Brunswick Wellness Forum. And I am going to go from here. And Mr. Jason St. Ange, one of our co-hosts, was there. And he phoned earlier. And I'm going to play that now because I think people will be interested. So don't go anywhere. We're going to play a couple commercials after this, and we're coming back, and we'll hopefully have some closing remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Here's Jason St. Ange, co-host and media tech for The Members Voice. I'm here tonight just to give you a little update about the first wellness forum hosted by CUPE New Brunswick the last 2 days. The only thing I could say, it was like phenomenal wellness forum. Like we start yesterday with a conference about mental health, and like they give us a lot of material so we could like have some self-reflection, how to deal with mental issues and all those kind of things. And the afternoon continue with a lot of activities. They have 3 or 4 rooms set up for different kind of activities. Like it could go like a quiet room, like if you want just to take time for yourself, just relax. And they continue with rock painting, all those kind of little things. Outside games, so if you want to have little fun to take away all the stress and anxiety, we could have inside. And it continued with a big huge barbecue, so hot dogs and hamburgers and a lot of fun outside. Was beautiful. And we done the day with a big bingo downstairs. And today the day start with an amazing conference about well-being, how to deal with issues. It was a really good session. Like everyone need to pause for a moment and really think about how they deal when issues come, issues or challenge come and face. So again, we end up the day with a couple more activities. And again, for the first wellness forum, I could say it was like perfect, phenomenal, and they already say they're gonna have another one next year. They want have suggestion, IDs, kind of conference they could have on the next well-being conference forum. And they're gonna build it, and they're gonna host another one next year. So again, I would love to thank everyone who participate on this wellness forum. I would love to thank CUPE New Brunswick board to organize that in a short time. It was perfect, magic, phenomenal, and I think every member who attend have a lot of stuff to go back home and help in every way with mental health, with issues, how to deal with problems and everything. So huge round of applause for CUPE New Brunswick board to organize that. So it was Jason St. Onge, co-host of the Members Voice, at the first wellness forum hosted by CUPE New Brunswick. Nick, it's your turn.
Looking for something bold, something custom, something built with real craftsmanship and a whole lot of personality? Then you need Charred Oak Designs, St. John's homegrown creators of handcrafted woodwork that turns everyday spaces into something unforgettable. Charred Oak Designs brings creativity and display to every project. Whether it's for your home, your workplace, your union hall, or that perfect personalized gift, they take your idea and turn it into something you'll be proud to show off. Every piece is crafted with care, built to last, and finished with that signature charred oak touch. The kind of quality you only get when real people put real heart into their work. If you want something unique, something meaningful, something that stands out, you want Charred Oak Designs.
Vous cherchez quelque chose d'audacieux, de personnalisé. Quelque chose fait avec un vrai savoir-faire et beaucoup de personnalité. Alors vous avez besoin de Charred Oak Designs, les créateurs locaux de Saint-John-d'œuvre en bois artisanal qui transforment les espaces ordinaires en quelque chose d'inoubliable. Des enseignes personnalisées aux pièces uniques qui racontent votre histoire. Ils prennent votre idée et la transforment en quelque chose dont vous serez fiers. Vous voulez Charred Oak Designs, commanditaire officiel de The Members Voice Show.
Carrick's Barber and Artwork at 27 Waterloo Street in Uptown St. John is where style, creativity, and pure talent collide. Because Carrick isn't just a great barber, he's a full-on artist. Every fade, every lineup, every cut is done with precision and personality, and his artwork is just as impressive. Bold, original pieces that bring color and attitude to any space. If you want a fresh look, a sharp cut, or custom art that stands out, Carrick delivers every time. Step into a shop with real skill, real vibe, and real creativity. Carrick's Barber and Artwork, where the cut is sharp and the art is even sharper.
Coming up in just literally a month, we've got so many great things, everyone. My goodness, we've got the sector conferences coming, the human rights conferences. As we said earlier, the dollars and cents. How about the health and safety conference that will take place in Prince Edward Island? Wes, you and I were talking about the sector conferences, something that Wes and I were very interested in. Chris, what about yourself? Is there anything that you see that might be more exciting than the other, or would it all be the same? And you, Catherine, don't leave that chair because I haven't started with you yet.
Well, the only thing I can see more exciting would be our executive meetings coming up in the 15th, 16th for the New Brunswick Federation of Labor. You know what? It'd be hard to pinpoint one specific thing because each thing has its own excitement in its own right. The material that's delivered at one is just as exciting as the material that's at the other. If you have the opportunity to attend all, then A1 if you can. If you get to pick one, pick whatever best one you feel is suited for you, and just go from there.
Wes, what do you think?
Oh, I agree with Chris. There's we've got so many great conferences coming up, dollars and cents, health and safety sectors. I like myself. I think we'd be leaning. I would really love to attend the sector conferences. One, because this year it's so close to home, so be a quick little trip down. So yeah. Anybody who has a chance to attend, it's wonderful education.
I couldn't agree more with you. Definitely, if you are close or you have the opportunity to attend, you want to attend, these are educational and it's things that you will use in the future in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I guarantee that. We will play the Human Rights Conference video at the end of the show tonight. I don't know why, it just worked out that way. Catherine, now you had a birthday just recently, I don't even know, 24 hours ago. We should probably discuss it.
More like 48, but I was
it's close. Don't go ruining the moment. I can't edit this. Catherine, welcome back to the show. We missed you.
Thank you.
Are you getting excited for school?
Not really, but
No.
yeah, I guess so.
Not really, but yeah, I guess so. Couldn't be more honest.
Be positive on the show, okay?
New, exciting, off to middle school. Can you imagine?
You are getting old.
So
okay, that's not where we're going with that here.
Sorry.
Yeah, both of you are getting old.
I'm young.
Yeah,
I'm young.
You're a grandfather.
First of all, your birthday was 24 hours ago.
You're a grandfather. I'm not. So there.
Your birthday was 24
Yeah,
hours.
it was. It was wonderful.
Catherine, would you like to say happy birthday?
Thank you.
Wes.
So how old are you, Catherine?
11.
Oh, 30 now? No? 30?
No,
11.
11.
Going into college? No?
No.
Middle school. Okay. Happy birthday, Catherine. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Might as
And
well be
happy
college. I've
birthday
seen a
to
few
both.
brain surgeons in there.
What's that?
I said it might as well be college. I said I've seen a few brain surgeons in there.
No, I hear you. Yeah. The look she just gave you. That's the teenage daughter look. Yeah.
You know what, though? As ironic as it is, we joke around about them going into middle school, but the reality is our next leaders are entering middle school and coming into elementary. We never know who is going to be, leading the country or leading the province or whatever. And it all starts at a very young age. So, that's why, we have an obligation, not only as parents, but, as leaders that we are now, to leave New Brunswick and Canada in a better place for people like Catherine that will be coming along and leading those positions.
Right.
You're not wrong. I couldn't agree more with you. As we come to an end, I do want to just quickly address a couple of things. As I said earlier, in 2 weeks, it will be not a show because it's the day after Labor Day. However, the plan is hopefully between the 12th and I'll say the 14th-ish, we'll get a show out to you guys. I'm not going to make you wait a whole week because we do plan on having footage from Labor Days that'll be held all over the province, PEI, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland and Labrador. I don't want anyone to miss any part of this. So we will do our best to broadcast at some point between those times. I got to get this out of the way and then we're good to go. Chris, I know that you are going to be extremely busy coming up in September and October. Wes is back behind the 40-foot limo, yellow limo. Is everyone excited?
You know what? I'm excited.
I'm actually looking forward to getting back to work this year.
I couldn't be more excited to see Wes go back to work.
I know. And there are a lot of parents that are going to be very happy to see me that first day.
If you don't mind me asking, do you get a lot of gifts on the first day of school from parents?
I get a lot of thank yous.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you. Thank God you're here.
Yeah.
A lot of that. A lot of gifts on the first day of school? No. I do get quite a few on the last day. Just their way of saying thank you. So
I don't get any gifts.
I don't blame you.
I'm okay.
You have the greatest gift of all, Nick. You have Chris's friendship and my friendship. That's the gift that literally keeps on giving.
With that being said, remember everyone, if you go to www.themembersvoice.ca, you can keep up with all the latest news going on in CUPE and in the Canadian Labour Congress, as well as watch all these videos that are available on demand there on YouTube. They are released onto TikTok. They're everywhere. We offer you all the most social media, from Instagram to TikTok to Facebook to groups on Facebook, as well as YouTube. And of course, the show is available on all podcast platforms during and after the release of this episode. So, guys, I can't do this show without either one of you, and that was a mouthful to say right there.
I'm surprised you got it out, honestly.
No, Chris, no.
He was practicing that.
I already know you, and I know exactly what you want to say, and I know what he wants to say. So, no. What I will do is ask you both to say goodbye, and that's it. We're done. We're gone, and we'll come back here in 2 weeks and a little bit more and do it all over again.
Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks. And for Nicholas, Eugene London, and myself, Wes Wills, Chris and Kat, have a wonderful evening, folks.
Solidarity, everyone.
Thank you for watching. Remember, our shows are available on YouTube and all major podcast platforms.